Hello, I am Roman, and I study at Harrow College.
Okay.
It's a career college, and I'm studying business. And today I'm here to learn as much as possible about your experience and your work in the field.
Okay.
Um, for the benefit of the video, could you please tell us a bit about your job or uh, position in your company?
Okay. So my name is Leslie Amarquaye, and I'm a consultant. So I basically work. I used to work in the technology part of the firm, but then recently I've moved into operation. So I'd say my day-to-day, my normal day job is basically it involves a lot of planning. So the night before I come to work, I sit down and actually write down a list of things that I know I'll be doing the following day. I come into work on the train journey to work. I make sure I listen to a lot of music just to get my mind, just ready. Once I come in, I'd say I have a lot of meetings throughout the day with clients, obviously making sure that the project that I'm working on has their buy-in. So you have a lot of workshops as well, so you get all stakeholders involved in that. And then after that, you have different engagements. You have your project work and you have your non-project work. So after that, you'd also get involved in other things that you're doing for the organization, like helping with some charity or helping organize an event for a society or club that you belong to. So it's just a lot of things happening in one day. And then on top of that, you've got your personal life and things that you have to plan. So I'd say my normal day consists of all these things.
So, what are those society clubs that you were speaking of?
So there's one that I belong to, actually two, the African and Caribbean Society, and I think we have an event coming up towards the end of January where, so in Accenture there's an issue where the African and Caribbean demographic is really, there's a high attrition rate. So in trying to solve that, we've organised a series of workshops where a lot of people will come and sit together and then talk about the issues that are happening or why they think people are actually leaving, and then try and find a solution. So I'm helping sort of organise that event, and it's not my project work, but I do that for free anyway. And then the other one is that I'm the lead for the financial services health and well-being team. So what we do is that we have 4 to 6 events that we organise throughout the year, and to encourage people to work more. We do Fitbit campaigns. We have a dodgeball event, football event, a racing event, a dragon boat racing, so it's out there on the waters, and then we do a rounders event. So the first one is in 2 weeks, and I help with that. So yes, these are the non-project kind of works that I also get involved in.
So, in your work, what is the part that you enjoy the most, your favorite?
That's a good question. Um, ooh. With my project work, I mean, it's enjoyable when you can actually deliver. If your project is to help your client, so I work for, my current client is a bank, and the old process is really archaic, old, and what we're trying to do is improve it so they'll be able to compete with the other banks. Now, you get a lot of satisfaction when you deliver the project and the client's very happy, and then when that happens, obviously you get more business because they're like, you know what, if you've been able to do this well, I think we have this other problem. So it makes your line managers happy, it makes the company happy, and you go home thinking, even with family and friends, you can say, oh, we just did this for this bank. So when you walk into the offices, you would see this happening. I worked on that. I mean, I think it's cool. So yeah, that gives me happiness. I mean, when I get involved in a lot of the charitable initiatives that Accenture has, that gives me a lot of happiness. Last year, I was involved in this campaign for one charity in Leytonstone. So every time when I go to the train station, I see people with buckets asking for money. I've never done that before. But for this day, we had a day off where we went to solicit for funds. So I was holding a bucket and trying to convince people to give money. It was amazing. It was hard work. And it actually made me understand that it's not easy when you see people with buckets trying to collect money. I mean, so that was fun. There was another one where we had to take over a shop in not Luton, I've forgotten where, it was somewhere in London. We took over the shop and we had to make twice what they normally make a day. So their daily sales were £300. We had to make twice or three times that. And so we ended up coming up with some creative ideas. We made tea, we bought some cupcakes. We were actually running back and forth across the road, trying to trying to get people to come into their shops to come and buy stuff. So yeah, I'd say the volunteering aspect of this job makes me happy, and getting involved in things that actually don't just impact me, but impact other people who join the company, like the African and Caribbean Society. I believe that if we're able to find solutions to some of these issues that have made a lot of people leave, then the next person who comes after me would probably not have to leave, you know, because they would be happy in the job that they do. And yeah, so I'll stop here.
What was your pathway to the position that you have today? Did you obtain a degree or an apprenticeship or another qualification?
It was a degree. Yeah, I mean, I finished my degree in 2008, and at that point in time, I mean, there were some apprenticeships, but they weren't that popular, so you had to get a degree to get your foot through the door. The degree didn't necessarily mean that you had all the knowledge, because when you got into the job, then you had to learn. So it was like, get in first and then learn on the job. So yeah, I'd say it was the degree.
And how did you choose to go to the college that you went, or to the form of education that you went?
I didn't really have a decision in that. I think my parents decide, you need to go to this college, you need to go to university. I was just, I mean, I'd say the particular college I went to, I did because my mum's friend's daughter was there, and you hear that, you know, that this college is a good one. So I did go. I mean, from a very young age, I was into computers. And so I thought, well, the best thing would be to go through college and then go to university and do something related to that. I mean, I wasn't quite sure. I mean, my dad wanted me to be an aeronautic engineer. And then I just did computers because I was comfortable with that. But if you ask me now my passion is finance. So if I had to go to university now, I'd probably do something in finance. But then on the other hand, I'm happy I did computing, because technology, I'm lucky because technology seems to be the one thing that's driving everything. So technology is pushing development across every other sector. So for that reason, I'm happy I made a mistake and did computing, but at the same time, if I had a second chance, I think I would have done something different.
And how prepared did you feel when you first started to work professionally?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone is ever prepared for what's going to happen, because you learn a lot of the theory in school. And yes, maybe I'd say for uni, when I started work, I remember a lot of the projects I did, and I'm able to relate the day-to-day work that I do to some of the projects I did and how I solved certain issues. So yes, I mean, I think it has a link. You can relate to some of the work that you did, which actually stresses the point that work experience or maybe apprenticeships are quite useful, because that seems to be the only thing you remember. The theory, you just read and make sure you pass your exams, right? I think, yeah, I mean, if you understand the theory, then you can apply it practically, but then it's very different when you turn up and you're faced with real world issues. I mean, you don't go and refer to your notebooks, but yes, so I mean, I'd say I was able to relate the project I did back in college to some of the issues that I had to solve in the real world. So.
And do you have any regrets towards your education, or maybe that you didn't choose enough apprenticeships or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I have a regret. I think every decision that I made is what has put me where I am. So there are no regrets, but I would have done, I don't know. Because at that age, you don't know what you know now. So then, I mean, you could only probably look at your parents, and I don't know. I don't think I have any regrets. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Just finance. I would have done finance, but yeah, that's not really a regret.
So hi, my name is Julia. I'm studying at Harrow College as a career college student. I'm studying business, and today I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So, how influential was college and sixth form in helping you get where you are now?
In my opinion, education is always important. You know, college, yeah, it was important because some of the things I learned there, I still apply now. I mean, I go to the cinema and I hear someone give a speech about mosquitoes causing malaria and the parasites. That's something new. Like, you know that you don't have to go to college or whatever, but then you just go to the cinema and you actually learn something new. So I think education is an everyday thing. You learn every time. But then college, obviously, based on the subjects that you choose, allows you to learn the basics and the foundations, which are always important. So, yeah.
Who inspired you as a teenager, and who continues to inspire you now?
I'd say my parents. It's a funny one. My mum showed me, my mum was everything I wanted to become because of what she's been able to achieve. And my dad was everything I didn't want to become. So, yeah, I didn't have to look far. I just had to look at my parents. But yeah, I think my mum was quite strict on getting all her kids educated. You know, she used to force us to read books when we were really young, and it helps, you know. You don't actually realize how effective some of these things are, but I think in the long run it comes out to help you. So I'd say, yeah, both my parents have been my role models ever since, and I think they still are. You know, sometimes my mum calls me up to check if I'm still reading. I'm like, yes, but yeah, so I'd say my parents. Yeah.
That's really nice. What work experience or apprenticeship have you completed, and were they helpful for you?
Okay, so this is a little bit different for me. So when I finished university, I did I did computing. I did a computing degree. I finished that, and then I did a 1-year placement doing as a software tester, and it was so boring that I just thought, wow, 9 to 5, come to work, sit behind a computer, you know, doing all of that. It was boring. I just wanted to do something fun, so I joined the army, and I was in the army for a few years. After that, I was like, okay, how do I get back into this? So work experience, you know, initially I started looking at apprenticeships and all of that, but I wasn't successful. So I remember I had a 1-month work placement with Barclays, and that was really good. I learned a lot about, you know, banking and all that, and they didn't give me a job after that. So I still had to keep looking. And then I found another 3-month work placement with a company called Thomson Reuters, and this was for their project management part, data center operations project management role. And I did that, and I was good at the job for 3 months. That they actually took me on permanent, and yeah, that was how effective a workplace or work experience can be. I think if you get the opportunity and you do a good job, anything can happen. I didn't go in thinking I'd be working for them full time, but it happened. And yeah, but then I left them and I joined Accenture. So, but yes, so work experience is actually really important. and it gives people the opportunity to see what you can do. It gives you, obviously the applicant, the opportunity to showcase the skills that you have learned and how effective you can be at bringing productivity to the team and then the company at large. So.
Right. Do you wish you had done more work experience or different work experience before?
I think, yeah, maybe more would have been good. It gives you a lot of confidence, you know, because there's a catch-22 here, because when you're in university, you do all the qualifications, you have all of that. But then when you start applying for jobs, you keep getting the same old response that, oh, you don't have enough experience. Unless you get into a graduate program, then yes, but there's so many people that graduate that don't actually make it into the graduate program. So what happens then? So if you can get a good balance of it, that's why when you're in university, you still do the theory, but then you make sure during your breaks, you go and do some form of work experience, internship somewhere, so that you can actually say, yes, I've just graduated, but throughout the 3 years in university, I was at, I don't know, Goldman Sachs doing this summer internship program and all that, and that makes it very, it creates a very valid sort of proposition for an employer. They look at this compared to someone who's just gone to university and not done any of those, like not had any work experience, versus you who's had the education, you've had some good grades, plus the experience. I think they'll take that other person. So, yeah.
Right. If you could go back and change one decision you've made when you were younger, what will it be there? Or if it's anything to change?
Oof. Change. What would I change? Yeah, finance. That's the one thing that I would change. But yeah, I can't go back. I wish I could go back. But yeah, if I could, finance. I think 4 years ago, for some reason, I just love money, as in helping people manage money and make large sums of profits on it. And that was actually, right now, I'm trying to shift from technology into finance. So even now in my past roles, what I've done is, in as much as I'm doing the main technology role, the side desk kind of jobs that I pick on are finance related. For my last client, I was managing the billings for the client billing process. So for all the different bits of work that we do, obviously we need to get paid for it. I was managing that process. So it's still not too late, because I'm not there yet, but I'm making sure I'm still getting the experience. And then when I get to a certain point that I'm fed up with technology, I'll say, okay, I have enough for finance, I'm going to do finance. And then you get the certifications, financial certifications for that, to prove that, yes, you have the experience and you have the paper to back it. So yeah.
What has been your most successful achievement so far?
I don't know. I'd say it's myself, because of the way I've been able to. So far I've been able to do everything that I wanted to do. You know, and yeah, I'd say looking back at my journey from, I don't know, when I was a kid all through till now, I've done everything that I wanted to do. I mean, even the decision to join the army was a very weird one, my parents thought, because you just completed university and the normal thing would be for you to just find a good job and do it. But I thought, let's go. I actually wanted to go traveling, but then I thought, how can I go traveling and still get paid for it? Let's join the army. And I actually did that. I've been to so many amazing places. Well, not amazing, but I mean, when we visit a country, like, I don't know, if we visit Vegas, we don't go to the fancy part of Vegas, we go to the really bad part. But I can still say I've been to Vegas. So I've been to a lot of countries, I've done some amazing things. And yeah, I mean, I'm quite happy that I've done every single thing that I wanted to do, and I'm here now. I can focus on being or living a normal life, I'd say. So yeah, I mean, I'd say the way I've picked myself from every situation that I've come across in my life, and you know, work towards a goal. Always have a goal, have something that you're working towards. I mean, if it's having a flower shop, you need to still be, you know, pushing and doing everything. Don't lose focus. I think if you need to be self-motivated, because sometimes not everyone would agree with the path that you want to go. When I wanted to join the army, my mum said, I won't talk to you. I was like, okay. She actually didn't speak to me for 6 months, but she came back again. She's my mum. So, you know, when people see that you're really actually going for what you want, they will come back, you know. And so, yeah, I'd say I'm probably the most successful thing that I've done.
What advice could you give me as someone who is looking to get into and learn more about this industry?
Okay, I'd say don't be too fixated on knowing exactly what you want, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are just learning as they go, you know. The advice I would give you is that in as much as you don't need to be fixated, you still need to have a plan. I mean, look at me, I say, oh, I want to get into finance. I'm still in technology, but I know I'm working my way towards it. You know, you need to have a plan, so that if you have a plan, you would have a contingency. Okay, if this doesn't work, what would work? And then you have several options. So even though plan A fails, your plan B, and plan B would be to make plan A work at some point. If B fails, you have a C. What does C do? C is to make A happen. So regardless of how further down you go in your contingency planning, it's still to make that number one thing happen. So you need to have a plan. That's what I always say. And even when you plan, so there are, I went on this training course, I don't know, forgotten, but the way I do it is you have urgent and important things to do in life. You wake up in a day. The urgent things normally are things that are important, that have been left for too long, that they become urgent. So in my day, I wake up, I make sure, I do the urgent things, I get rid of them, and then the important things. If you have a plan to get from this side to that side, what do you need to do? How do you go about it? You think about every aspect of it. What I do is I sit down, I write it down. I want to become, I don't know if I can flip this around and ask you a question. You want to be a lawyer, right? You want to be a lawyer. Okay, cool. What do you need to do to become a lawyer? You need to have that qualification. I don't know now if the Bar Association would employ someone who doesn't have that. So you need to have that qualification. You need to go to university, do a law degree. Now, when you do that and you come out, if you get a training contract or not, you need to have that for someone to invest in you and do all of that. You also need to decide if you want to be a solicitor or barrister. You need to plan for that. If you're going to go to university, actually your parents would have to make a decision. Okay, well, if they don't do their first degree in law and they do a computing degree like me, how do I become a lawyer? I'd have to do a conversion course, you know, the GDL. You'd have to do the GDL. It's all a lot of money. How would I be able to finance that? And when you get the GDL, you'd also have to think about being a solicitor or barrister. There's so many exams to take. You plan that, and when you become one, you need a training contract. You still need to apply to so many other law firms. And when they take you on, you still have 2 years to prove yourself. And then after that, you start making the money. It's a long way. It's with everything, you know. If I want to, you know, own a shop, you first look at yourself. Okay, okay, this is me now. I'm in college. I want to run my own business. I want to own this shop. Okay, what do I need? I need to learn about business management, how to manage clients, how to manage all of that, selling things. You do all of that. How do I get money to actually get my shop, or all that? Parents can help. Everything revolves around planning. So I think if you plan, write everything out, know your strengths, weaknesses, identify people in your life that can help you achieve that goal. If not, there are people around you who know people, mentors, someone who has done it, like the way I'm sat here talking about my experience. When you listen, you would see the mistakes that person did and learn from it, avoid those, learn from that. Okay, cool. This is how I can apply what this person has said to my situation, and then go ahead and do it, So there's no formula for it. You just have to sit down and I think in the end, you have to do what makes you happy. You have to work, you have to pay the rent, but if you're doing what makes you happy, I think it will be worth it. So.
Okay. Any final advices for our career college students?
Have a lot of fun. I'd say have a lot of fun now. Learn, do what needs to be done, but make sure you enjoy this time, because once you leave college, I'm gonna say it's non-stop. I wish I could go back there and have so much more fun. But yeah, have a lot of fun, plan, and just be happy, Make sure you're happy. A lot of people, I don't know, maybe my age, or once you start working, there's so much to do. You're busy. You need to get a good balance of work and your personal life, and you just have a lot of fun now. Get a good work-life balance, so that once you start working, just make sure that you don't, I don't know, best way of putting it, don't get too carried away by the money. Don't chase the money. There's so much more to life than just work. Do the things that makes you happy. Plan properly. Go on holiday. Spend time with your family. But yeah, and just let life happen. Okay, cool. I'm done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you.